Welcome to how the best jiu-jitsu athletes train. Quickly before we get into the video, 99% of you guys aren't subscribed. So if you enjoyed today's video, please hit subscribe. You see that guy on the left? That's me. And the guy in the middle? That's Jozef Chen. If you don't know Jozef, he's an ADCC trials winner in the 77 kilo bracket. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing everything that I learned from all the time I spent with Jozef on the mats. I'm a jiu-jitsu white belt. Jozef is a jiu-jitsu brown belt under Craig Jones. I had the opportunity to go to multiple Jozef seminars. I even had a chance to drill and roll with Jozef. I had plenty of time to pick the brain of the 19-year-old prodigy. And here's how I did it. Most people started their 2024 celebrating, but me, I chose to solo trip from my home country Ireland all the way to China at 19 years old, in particular to Shanghai, the city that is home to Method MMA, Shanghai, China, where Jozef Chen trains out of when he is back home in China. It was official. I met Jozef and I linked up with him, and the first thing I noticed was how much instructionals this guy watches. He watched John Danaher, Craig Jones, you name it, he illegally streamed it. And he actually showed me a way to illegally stream it myself, so shout out to him. But yeah, he would get the techniques on his phone, examine them, look over them, and then search for his drilling partners. Jozef was particular about his drilling partners. He had a set few people who were there daily before class that he would drill with. Examples are Shu, who, quick side note, actually convinced me to dye my hair blonde. So shout out to Shu. And also this guy. I don't know his name, so we're just going to call him Bob. And also Kenta, but he wasn't there. But Jozef and Kenta are great drilling partners who, quick fun fact, actually made their own instructional called Engaging Without Regrets. I definitely recommend you watch it. Now, how to drill the right way. Jozef is big on this. He wasn't just going to do some boring technique repetition. He was ensuring that he was training with intent. This is something Jozef is big on and talks more about it on the BJJ Fanatics podcast, episode 606. I recommend you give it a listen. Definitely will improve your jiu-jitsu. What does this mean though? It means having open dialogue with your partner, asking questions and giving answers and feedback, which further accelerates people's progress. During drilling and also just after rolls, there was a dedicated time to talk about the roll, which I thought was very important and very progressive in jiu-jitsu. So, to recap, Jozef watches instructionals, gets his drilling partner, goes over the techniques, trains with intent with them by giving good responses and a bit of resistance while also engaging in dialogue. Here's an example of what this would look like for Jozef.
我也去把我拉着，然后一拉上来的时候，我会转膝盖绕到他后面。所以我们再来看一次的话，我稍微快一点，对吧？他给我压力。
The next thing I noticed about Jozef was his passion for travel. I enjoyed traveling also, hence my trip, but Jozef was a different breed. He would travel to places like Bali MMA to teach seminars and train with high-level guys, such as in Austin, Texas, where he would go and train with B-Team Jiu-Jitsu. Jozef is always seeking out high-level grapplers to improve his game. I noticed that the best Jiu-Jitsu athletes are constantly searching for people better than them to improve their game. How you can implement this into your routine is when you go to train, make sure that you're deliberate with who you decide to roll with, because iron sharpens iron. If you're just going for the 6-month white belt guy all the time, you're not going to get to the level that Jozef is at. Jozef trains with pretty much everybody. He's always searching for high-level competition because he understands that to be the best grappler that you can be, you got to train with the best. Now, you might be wondering, what is two dogs rolling around doing on my screen, and what has this got to do with being a great grappler? Well, hear me out. These dogs are just playfully wrestling each other, and this is something that I noticed so often in Jozef's training. He would constantly be hanging out of his friends, trying some techniques on, and they would just always be hanging out of each other. This made a lot of sense to me and made me think about why we don't do this more often in our regular gyms. Jozef was always hanging out of his drilling partner's shoe, and I actually just realized that this is what makes him so good. He's always enjoying himself by messing about with his friends, and he's also improving always, because he's always improving his technique. There was never a time at the gym where he would go more than 5 to 10 minutes where he's not doing jiu-jitsu. He's always just trying to improve his game in little ways. That was something that Jozef taught me, and it really helped my game a lot. Since then, I've been able to build better friendships in the gym and roll and improve my grappling abilities. Another philosophy Jozef has.
Like, I also like to think of things in terms of appropriateness, where in situations where you find you can't be efficient, it probably means that you're not doing the most appropriate technique.
Here's an example of me going for a body lock when my opponent, Rory, has a butterfly hook in. He ends up using the butterfly hook and getting the submission on me, all because I was trying to force a technique that wasn't the most effective one in that situation. Jozef taught me to always just flow. If you feel a technique is not working, it means it's probably the wrong technique for that moment. I will talk about this more further, but time for a recap. So, to be like one of the best grapplers, Jozef Chen, you have got to watch instructionals. Take videos of instructionals on your phone and drill them with your drilling partners daily. Also engage in communication with them so that you know it's going to work in a live roll if they give you accurate response. The second one is to travel. Leave wherever you are to go search for better grapplers, better coaching, and overall just a higher level of jiu-jitsu. Also, have fun at the gym, hang out with your friends, improve your technique. This is going to make it more enjoyable for you and you're not going to experience burnout. They were always having fun at the gym and they never got tired. They rarely ever went to war with each other over rolls and they were always just smiling, having fun. This allowed Jozef the energy to train for about 5 hours a day. He would arrive at 10 a.m. and leave at about 2 p.m. Pay attention to Jozef in this clip and his facial expressions. You rarely ever see him exerting muscle or strength. He's always trying to use some technique and most of the time just going with the flow type of jiu-jitsu. This allows him to train every day without his body becoming so fatigued. Here's me on my way back to Ireland, and what do you know, it's Jozef on his way to Hong Kong for a seminar. The guy never stops traveling. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and check out this other video where I break down my full roll with Jozef Chen. Also, follow me on Instagram at BJJDillon. With all that said, I'm out.